It is time once again to observe International Biodiversity Day. This year in 2020, as we commemorate the day, we feel a natural urge to mention about the dreadful presence of novel coronavirus, which has struck the world with the pandemic COVID-19. In the recent past, some other such infectious diseases were caused by Ebola, Nipah, avian flu, swine flu, and these viruses are transmitted from animals to man. And it has been astonishingly found that 72% of these zoonotic diseases have originated from wild animals. And the transmission is associated with wildlife trafficking and bushmeat consumption. So we humans are responsible on one hand for the emergence of such fearful pathogens and on the other for the destruction of innocent wildlife. So in the backdrop of the pandemic, in the backdrop of prolonged lockdown, in the midst of worry and anxiety for the far and near future, we, Department of Zoology, Bangabasi Morning College, Kolkata, West Bengal, India, have decided to share a message on International Biodiversity Day. This year the theme is "Our solutions are in nature." Indeed, it is time to understand how far we have shifted from Mother Nature. But in spite of great advancements in technology, we still are dependent on a healthy ecosystem to sustain us. So the motto should be, "Let live so that we may live." We have to protect wildlife, preserve biodiversity, and conserve nature so that man and animals can live in harmony, sharing Mother Earth and her resources in a sustainable way. Now I thank all teachers of Department of Zoology, Bangabasi Morning College, support staff, and all students for their active participation and valued contribution in making this video. Thank you.
आज 22 মে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ডে ফর বায়োলজিক্যাল ডাইভার্সিটি। আজ আমরা এটা বলতে পারি যে হিউম্যান সিভিলাইজেশন অনেক বেশি অ্যাডভান্স, আমরা টেকনোলজিক্যালি অনেক বেশি প্রোগ্রেস করে ফেলেছি, কিন্তু আমরা এটা কখনোই বলতে পারবো না যে আমরা প্রবলেম ফ্রি হয়ে আজ জীবন কাটাচ্ছি। আমরা যদি চারিপাশে তাকাই তাহলে দেখব এমন কিছু সমস্যা আছে যা গোটা পৃথিবী জুড়ে ছড়িয়ে ছিটিয়ে আছে। বিভিন্ন দেশের চিন্তনশীল ব্যক্তিরা বা শিক্ষাবিদেরা যখন পড়াশোনা করছেন বা এই সমস্ত প্রবলেমগুলো নিয়ে স্টাডি করছেন, তখন তারা দেখছেন যে এই সমস্যাগুলোর সূত্রপাতও এবং তার সমাধান দুটোই আছে হচ্ছে আমাদের চারপাশে, আমাদের প্রকৃতিতে। আমরা যদি আমাদের প্রকৃতি মানে আমাদের চারপাশে গাছপালা, মানুষজন, সব কিছু এর যদি আমরা নিজেরা খেয়াল রাখি, তাহলে দেখব এই সমস্ত সমস্যাগুলোর সমাধান খুব সহজেই বেরিয়ে আসছে। ইউনাইটেড নেশন তার এই ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ডে ফর বায়োলজিক্যাল ডাইভার্সিটি এই দিনটা উদযাপনের জন্য প্রত্যেক বছর কিছু না কিছু থিম রাখে। 2020 সালে তাদের থিম হচ্ছে দ্য সলিউশনস আর ইন নেচার। তাদের বক্তব্য এটাই যে আমরা যদি আমাদের এই নেচারটাকে ভালো করে যত্ন নিই, তাহলে আমরা এই প্রচুর সমস্যাগুলো যেগুলো আমাদেরকে জর্জরিত করে তুলেছে প্রতিনিয়ত, সেগুলো থেকে নিজেদের রেহাই দিতে পারবো। আমরা ডেভেলপমেন্ট চাই, কিন্তু সেটা যেন হয় সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট। কখনোই নিজেকে ডিস্ট্রয় করে, নিজেকে ডিস্টার্ব করে ডেভেলপমেন্ট করব, সেটা যেন আমাদের মোটো না হয়। কাজে ডেভেলপমেন্ট অফ পিপল অ্যালং উইথ ইটস নেচার, এটাই হোক আমাদের নতুন মন্ত্র। ধন্যবাদ।
Are scaly anteaters are mammals and having their body covered by scales, and they roll up into a ball when threatened. There are 8 species of pangolins found in Asia and Africa. The novel coronavirus outbreak has brought attention to these timid animals. A group of scientists speculate that pangolins are probably the intermediate hosts to transmit the virus from bats to humans. 2 species of pangolins are endangered, while the Chinese and Malayan pangolins are critically endangered. They are hunted for their meat and scales, which are used in traditional Chinese medicines. These gentle creatures that live on ants and termites, pangolins should be conserved and saved from extinction.
Magnificent Asiatic lions needs no introduction. About 600 Asiatic animals are found in National Gir Forest in Gujarat of India. It is endangered because of its small population, restricted in its small habitat. An endemic disease or forest fire could destroy the population forever. So conservation of these majestic animals is highly needed.
Once thought to be extinct, but since time immemorial, this endangered species of deer have been walking the lands of India. Manipur. The dancing deer or the brow-antlered deer is a pride of India. The state animal of Manipur and often known as the Shanghai. They have uniquely shaped antlers that look like the eyebrows. These are endemic to Manipur. The Loktak Lake in the integral part of Kaibul Lamhao National Park is the largest freshwater body in northeast India and have a specialized habitat for these unique creatures. Confined to 15 to 20 square kilometers in the national park, there is a floating biomass of vegetation locally called the fungus. They have a low specific gravity and a high buoyancy which support the system of these specialized Shanghais. Now the Shanghais hop over these specialized fungis, which are grown naturally and not artificially, and they look like they're dancing. That's why the name, the dancing deer. However, still now, these are facing a lot of challenges like human intervention, habitat destruction, and even habitat loss due to construction of dams, flooding, etc. But all due respect and love for those conservationists and environmentalists who have been saving these creatures. From 6 in 1961 to 260 in 2020, the population has risen enormously. Let's hope that in the near future, these endangered species are going to born free, and live free, and can dance their way freely. Fingers crossed.
There are 2 species of rhinoceros in Africa and 3 in southern Asia. Indian rhino or the greater one-horned rhinoceros in the past had a wide habitat area extending from Pakistan to Myanmar. Now they are found in some protected areas of India and Nepal. These mega herbivores are a keystone species that maintain the grassland ecosystems. Rhinos are killed for their horns that are believed to have medicinal properties. The animal is listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List and should be conserved to preserve biodiversity.
While speaking about biodiversity, one has to mention the world's largest animal, the blue whale. The king of the ocean is distributed in all major ocean basins except the Arctic Ocean and the Bering Sea. Such gigantic mammals exclusively feed on krill, small crustaceans measuring a few centimeters only. Blue whale is an endangered animal and needs protection from various threats that includes climate change, ship strikes, entanglement with fish gearing and pollution.
Good morning students, hope you are doing well at your home in this lockdown period. So today I am going to discuss on the effect of pollution on the biodiversity. We all know that in last 3 decades, due to pollution, deforestation, human activities and urbanization, the biodiversity in the city of Kolkata has reduced. But in this lockdown effect, the good thing which we can see that the pollution level has dropped very much. Due to this, a large number of mammals and birds which were seen long ago in Kolkata are now back. We can easily spot peacock on the streets of Barakpur. We can see that the dolphins are back on the Hooghly River of Kolkata. We can see there are so many birds like sparrows, Sipahi bulbul, red-vented bulbul, drongo, cuckoo, all are back in flocks in the city of Kolkata. We can also notice that the jackals are also back in the city and the suburban areas of the cities. So from this, we can easily understand that reduction of pollution will result in increase in the biodiversity of the city. So I would request you to play some role and take part in the reduction of pollution of the environment so that the biodiversity of the city can be restored. Thank you very much.
The Great Barrier Reef represents the world's largest coral reef ecosystem. It lies in the Coral Sea of the east coast of Queensland. It is considered as a wonder of nature and it can be viewed from the space. It is composed of billions of tiny coral polyps. Being the most biologically diverse ecosystem, it is a shelter to millions and the food source to even more. Besides, it protects the coastline from erosion and tsunami. Climate change, coral bleaching, overfishing, and other uses are among the major threats. The worldwide search is on to save this World Heritage Site.
Dugong is a marine mammal considered as the inspiration of mermaids. They are slow-moving large animals with human-like eyes, bulbous face, paddle-like flippers, and fluke-like tail. They are found in warm waters around the coasts of about 40 countries and including India. They feed on seagrass and are known as the queen of the sea. Coastal development, fishing activities, uncontrolled tourism, hunting for food and medicinal purposes pose a potential threat for this vulnerable species. This marvel of nature can be saved by fishing and tourism management, habitat protection, and awareness.
Puffins are not very well known but very adorable seabirds. Unlike penguins that cannot fly, puffins can swim and fly. All 4 species of puffins are found in the northern hemisphere. These birds are fish eaters and play an important role in the ecological balance. Apart from hunting and poaching, global warming and climate change are the biggest threats to the survival of these wonderful birds. The efforts undertaken by the Project Puffin, which has been founded by Dr. Stephen Chris in 1973, has succeeded to protect and increase their population. Even after being so far from them, we can do this little helps to our little brother of now.
Leatherbacks are the largest and the deepest diving sea turtle, measuring up to 7 feet in length. Its carapace is not bony but leathery. These turtles are specially adapted to the cold waters of Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. These beautiful animals feed exclusively on jellyfish and maintain balance in marine ecosystem. These vulnerable reptiles are threatened by pollution and fishing. Its conservation should be encouraged.
Good morning. Insects are known to be the most diverse and successful organisms on the earth. It can adapt it for almost every imaginable type of condition of the environment on the planet. According to taxonomists, insect order may vary within 29 to 32. Insect biodiversity accounts for a large proportion of all biodiversity on the planet. Over half of the estimated 1.5 million organisms are classified and described as insects. Many of the major factors that leads to the loss of the insect biodiversity, such as habitat loss and fragmentation, maximum uses of agrochemicals like insecticide and pesticide, disease, pollution, climate change, introduction of invasive species, and the urbanization and industrialization. Insect biodiversity are very much important because insects can create all biological foundation for terrestrial ecosystem. It can cycle nutrients, pollinate plants, disperse seeds, maintain soil structure and soil fertility, and control the other harmful organisms of pests, and it is a source of major taxa. Insects are nature agent. It can disposal and recycling of animal dung and dead bodies of plants and animals. Life as we know could not exist without such recycling processes. We can use insect many more direct and indirect ways. So we have a reason why we need to conserve them. Thank you.
Komodo dragon, the largest lizard on the earth, are carnivorous and poisonous. They are endemic to Komodo Island in Indonesia. They are enlisted as a vulnerable species, but the population size is declining. Though aggressive, venomous, and potentially dangerous, these massive monitors must be conserved to maintain the ecological balance and preserve the biodiversity.
Dart frogs are brightly colored and creatively beautiful, having high demand in the international pet trade. Being secondary consumer, they play a very important role in the food chain. They are continuously threatened by pollution from the agrochemicals, climate change and habitat loss. Though they are not very big or massive animals, they demand a proper conservation to preserve biological diversity.
Biodiversity is the greatest treasure we have, said by Thomas Eisner. The word biodiversity refers to all the life forms present on our earth, that is plant species, animal species, microorganisms, fungi, etc. No matter how small, all have an important role to play. The well-being of a society depends to a large extent on the benefits that we derive from these organisms. The more biodiversity is there, it will lead to the increase of more ecosystem diversity. And more ecosystem diversity will in turn increase more ecosystem services. For an example, the dynamics of soil nutrient cycles are determined by the composition of microorganisms that are present in the soil. Maintenance of biological diversity is key to sustaining the flow of energy in our societies. World Biodiversity Day is celebrated on 22nd May. As the most superior species on the earth, it is our duty to make our earth a better place for all the living beings. I would like to thank our head of the department, our respected ma'am, for organizing this and encouraging us in doing so. Thank you.
Hi, I am Ryan Das. So let's start. The variety of life on earth, like the number of species of plants, animals, microorganisms, the variety of genes in this species and their biological activity is actually regarded as biodiversity. Biodiversity boosts ecosystem productivity. But each species, no matter how small, all have some or more important role on the ecosystem. Through processes such as habitat restoration, captive breeding, seed banking, reducing climate change, reducing invasive species, we can conserve and save our biodiversity. Thank you.
Adder is an animal discovered in 2016. It is a small, venomous and extremely rare snake found in South Africa. It was thought to be extinct until 4 live specimens were found in the year 2016. It is a challenge for conservationists worldwide to increase the population of this mysterious serpent.
Since the foundation of WWF, the Worldwide Fund for Nature in 1961, giant panda has been their official logo. Due to expanding human populations and development, this adorable animal is now restricted to live in 20 isolated patches of bamboo forest in China. The panda diet is exclusively based on leaves, shoots, and stems of bamboo. The animal is threatened by habitat loss and habitat fragmentation. However, the constant efforts of the conservationists succeeded to downgrade the IUCN status of giant panda from endangered to vulnerable. The conservation icon is a real motivation to save the planet's vanishing biodiversity.